My hand's stable, I feel able to turn the tables, I could do this. Just keep moving, keep your hands up, stupid. I feel lucid, a new viewing. I can see the end, I can see my future, I can view it. It's right there for the taking. Everything I've ever wanted, dreams are just waiting. I just gotta fight for it, willing to die for it, willing to like sort of.
Hey, greetings from the year 3000, it still sucks. This is Philip J. Price, and you're listening to the Drunken Turkey Show, your one stop for this sort of thing. Hit that button, like and subscribe. You know what to do, just like every other podcast.
Just like every other podcast. What is up, everybody? I'm back. This is Daniel. Breaking news, just as I'm about to fall asleep, they made an arrest. Hold on, let me share this with everybody. They're going to be doing a perp walk here in probably about 20 minutes or so. I'm not sure who they arrested yet. Just know that somebody has been arrested. I'll say thank you for everybody that was watching the previous episode that we were doing on the Epstein case or Epstein names. Like I said, just as we get off, there's this news. There's no names out yet. Let me check the interwebs and see if there's something going on here, if there's anything leaked as far as who it is. Give me a sec. U.S. activity. All right, so breaking news. Nobody knows yet. Nothing yet so far that I can see. A sec, let me mute this real quick. All right. Yeah, none yet. Let me know in the live chat if you guys have heard anything as far as any names have been dropped out. Yeah, I jumped back on as soon as I heard that this was going on. I was like, I got to get on here. Now, since last time we had spoken, we had gotten confirmation from the ME that both. Hold on. Well, my buddy, you're on the show right now. You keep messaging me. Give me a sec. That's one of my buddies who I hang out with. But last time we talked, it was kind of unsure. The ME hadn't disclosed whether it was a homicide or self-inflicted. And since then, it's his death. Matthew has also been ruled a homicide. So both of them were both considered homicide. This says here, SAPD has made an arrest. That kind of tells me that's singular, one person in the Savanah Soto and Matthew Guerra case this evening, January 3rd, 2024. We will Facebook Live a perp walk within the hour. You can follow us here for the latest. Let me just refresh this, make sure they're not live. They are not. I may have, Sabrina. Let me check. And, meantime, let me pull this up real quick. All right, so wrong email. Oh, okay, yeah, I did get that, Sabrina. I was going to talk about that, about as far as the towel and the window. You circled that one. I'm not sure. Oh, the broken window. Oh, I had not seen this picture. Thank you for sending me that one. I hadn't seen that one. I'm going to pull that up here in a second. But this right here is This is the area where the vehicle was found. The vehicle was found here where this X is at. Me and Blue were out here on scene a couple of days ago. We looked at the area. I went back a couple of times since then. And I'll say that there is a lot of cameras in every direction in this neighborhood. I am not surprised that they found this person and caught this person as quick as they did. The meetup that they had was right here in this vicinity, where you saw the Kia pull up with the black truck next to it. Then that vehicle left in this direction. I would assume it was when that vehicle was parked here at its final resting spot. Now, I'm not sure what day that was. However, Chief McManus had said that this had been something that, what do you call it? The vehicle had been parked there for at least, 3 to 4 days as of the day that it was, while it was there. So that would put it around, if it was 4 days, I think they discovered it the 26th, so the 22nd, the day that they actually left. So it was either the day they went missing or the following day. All right, so 1 sec. I'm going to send this picture in so that I can show this to everybody. All right. Right here. Yeah, let me double check. See if this is. No, not live yet. Not live yet. Oh, wow. KSAT website states Guerra's family said a detective said a father and son have been arrested. I had said that on the live when we were breaking down this video, that I thought that was somebody close and somebody that they had woken up because of the clothing that person was wearing. That makes sense. So what that tells me is that I don't think that this was planned whatsoever. I think that something happened, something went wrong. I think that the crime had occurred inside of that vehicle. And I think that whoever was driving the car, the incident occurred. He took the lives of them for I don't know why. And then I think he contacts his father, probably in a panic, and they meet back here. That makes sense. Oh, no problem, Gene. I appreciate you guys watching and liking and subscribing. Vicente Hernandez is the name of who has been arrested. ABC 12 has said it. It was a father and son. Oh, wow. That's interesting. Let me see if I can find that real quick. One sec. ABC 12. I haven't seen anything there yet. So this is another aerial picture of the car. Sent in by Sabrina. Thank you so much, Sabrina, for sending this in to me. As you can see, there is a piece of that window missing, a significant amount of that window missing. That's probably what's hanging out. So and the thing is too, why people wouldn't probably have seen this for that long, because I think that's probably going to be the next question. That vehicle's been parked there for how long with a broken window? Uh, you know, I think that's going to be one of the questions, but you have to remember that it came in the other direction, like vehicles. Hold on. Here it is. Throw this over here. So when vehicles entered through here, so this is where the vehicle is parked. They were traveling this direction, and it was facing as if it was traveling up towards the street here, towards the gas station. However, the direction of travel in this area is supposed to be going this direction. And given the way the vehicle was parked, if vehicles were traveling the appropriate way, it would be difficult to see that driver's side window broken. But it makes sense as to the shiny object that I had seen in the video there that they had of the two vehicles meeting around where the door was. The brother said the paramedics are the ones that broke it up because they thought Savanah was passed out. Was worried about the baby. Maybe. It's interesting. Let me see if there's anything going on the. One sec. Not live yet. Not live yet. Some doorbell footage. I haven't seen that. I don't know how much of any doorbell footage is correct or accurate or real, to be honest. If it hasn't come out from the police department, I tend to be a little skeptical on some stuff. Oh, thank you. 100%. Thank you, Sissy. Appreciate that. I'm going to see if I can find something. While we do that, So this is the meetup that they had. I'm going to go ahead and look up I'm looking up if there's anything on here online. I don't see anything. If anybody finds anything, do me a favor. If you have a link to that news article or anything, I'd appreciate that. So I guess that if it's a father-son, I mean, I would assume the person in the car is the son, and this is the father. I don't want to see that. You rolled out of bed without his. Yeah, I sure did. I was fixing to go ahead, and I had my sleeping pills. I got to take some stuff to help me sleep through that night, and I was fixing to take it when I got the word that there was an arrest. And I was like, "Oh!" Well, fortunately, I was able to not do so. So I'll be awake for a little bit. But yeah, they said within the hour. That was about 49 minutes ago, so it should be any minute now. They'll be doing this perp walk. Again, if you have any, I guess a link to the to anything where they say the arrest. I know somebody said it was Vicente something. You don't think they look like Jeffrey Dahmer glasses at all? Let's see. And yeah, you guys can't see that. I wish I had my case. I'll show you what they are. But I don't have it with me. Yeah, father and son arrested apparently. Let me go see if there's anything on the forums on the YouTube. I mean on the Facebook real quick. A girl posted on the other post. It was her friend's neighbor. They've been there all day collecting evidence and finally arrested them near the same buildings, and his truck was parked out front. That's what somebody is stating. Her friend's neighbor. It's live on KSAT right now. All right, hold on. Let me see. You know what? Let me check something over here real quick. I have YouTube TV, so I'll just pull it up on here. If it's on the news right now. YouTube TV. There it is. Sign in. Two arrests, yeah. Two arrests. Now, it's not live on KSAT right now. Friggin' Jimmy Kimmel's live. Right, give me 1 second. If anybody knows where it's at, we're 5 minutes for the perp walk. The doors are open. Oh, snap. All right, let's see. Dave Bautista. Actually, yeah. I had somebody email me that one time. That's funny that you say that. Let's see. Ken's 5, channel 12. Ken's 5, 12 live. All right. Let me see. And 5. Hold on 1 sec. Fox. What the hell? I apologize. This is kind of. I'm looking it up. I'm trying to look it up on the dang. On here, but it's on YouTube TV. It makes it so dang difficult. KSAT Facebook has the article. Should be having a perp walk live on KSAT 12. All right, let's see. ESPN. KSAT is live. All right. Give me a second. Let me check over here real fast. Thank you. Appreciate that. I got it over here. Well, let's see. There you go. All right, so arrested father and son. They're supposed to be doing a perp walk here pretty soon. Pretty crazy, man. Pretty crazy. You know, I think they probably had an idea of who these people were for a little bit, especially once they got the vehicle. You know, there's a lot of cameras in this area. Like I said, I live in San Antonio, and you know, I drove through this area. I went out there, and yeah, I would appreciate not putting anybody's other links, please. Let's see. Yeah, there was plenty of DNA on the car. I would believe that too. Two people arrested. Yeah. Wonder why they did this. I have no idea. You know, I would assume based on the way the guy was dressed in the silver truck that he was awakened. You know, he was wearing an undershirt, wearing shorts. This is December in Texas at night. You know, it's not the coldest place in the world, but it's not a tropical weather either in wintertime. I mean, right now it's 47 degrees, which like I said, it's not tremendously cold, but you know, to be out there, you know, if there's any type of wind at night, 47 feels a lot more cooler. You know, to be out there in shorts. My assumption is that that he was awoken to the news and went to go assist apparently his son. So, yeah, we're looking at right into the door. No, that's not him. Yeah, it's just a sad situation, you know. Savannah, you know, Soto, my heart goes out to that little girl. I mean, and Matthew too as well. But like I've said before, I got a daughter that's 16, and so she's about that age. Um, and and she was pregnant, and I have an infant. So he's just kind of, and this happened in my hometown, right here in my backyard. So crazy situation. Now, I was a father and son. Father and son were arrested. Oh, never mind. I thought she said something else. Yeah, they did give it's giving us vertigo. Yeah. Who they arrest? I don't know the names yet. I'm gonna see if I can find it online. I know some people have said somebody named Vicente, but I'm not sure. Arrest made. But the family have stated that it was a father and son who were arrested. And it says here they'll have a press conference as well here in a little bit. I don't say anything. I'm not seeing anything on my essay either. They just updated this 3 minutes ago as far as any names. Nothing there. The father and son, like I said, I think it's probably, um, the way the father was dressed didn't seem like um, he was prepared to go and assist his son with a scene like that. Uh, so that makes me believe that this is probably not something that was planned. It's probably something that happened in the moment. I don't know if this person, got into a fight or something, uh, with one of the victims. I think it was Matthew's brother said that he had carried a gun with him, at all times, and a gun was missing as well. Yeah, maybe there was a fight, and the gun was taken away from him. That's if it's definitely the guy from the truck. Yeah, that's true. It may be some other people. We do know for a fact that there are at least 3 people in that video. You have the driver of the Kia, you have the driver of the truck, and you have whoever is in the truck handing him either the towel or the bag or whatever it was. So there's at least 3 that are involved. Yeah, retaliation, maybe. If if he's connected, there could be. I mean, I don't know if anything like that. I know he was selling things, so I don't know. Maybe those guys. I don't know. There could be retaliation. Scary game. Scary game. Thank you, Jessamy. Appreciate that. Hopefully, they have more officers than what was in the courtroom. I didn't see that. I don't know how many officers were in the courtroom. Let's see. I wonder what the connection is. Yeah, I wonder what it is too. Yes. There may be more arrests. I would think so. At least one more. Whoever was in the vehicle with the bigger guy, I think there should be at least that one. Trevor and Michael are the names supposedly. Yeah, somebody said Vicente earlier. I'm not sure. Had they been more involved, especially because of how they were described, Matthew in the back seat? Why would they do that to him if this wasn't retaliation? I'm not necessarily sure. Um, everything was accurate about the backseat. We had Nina on from. Oh wait, I think they're coming out. Yeah, we had Nina from Search and Rescue SATX on the show. Her group were the group that were notified from one of the family members that the car was parked there at Danny K at that apartment complex. And to her knowledge, like some of the torture stuff that wasn't accurate. The pants being off, from what I understand, was um, they were sagging, and in my opinion, because the bodies were still in the car, I think that the actual crime occurred in the cars. I don't see somebody committing the crime outside of the car, taking them to the car and putting one in the front seat, one in the back seat. I would assume you put them in the trunk. It's a little bit, you know, it's kind of weird, to be driving around with two corpses like that. But it just doesn't make sense to have them in the front seat and the back seat. You put them in the trunk, and maybe perhaps, this happened in the car, two loud bangs. Maybe the person's in the back seat, is pulling Matthew from the driver's seat to the back seat. And during that process, maybe his genes come down even a little bit more. But that was what was described to me, that it wasn't something else. But I don't know. I wasn't there. I didn't see it. So it's very much plausible. Let's see. I hope they show us the entire parking lot video after the arrest. And we might not see that until, well, maybe. Texas is a little bit different. They'll put out stuff, like anything to help. And yeah, Texas ain't shy about putting out information. I wonder if they turned themselves in or if they had to take them in. Yeah, that's possible. I'm not sure. I don't know. I wonder too. I doubt they turned themselves in, though. KSAT Live. Let me see if I can find that. I'm not sure what view that is that you're referring to, but I want to see if I can find it real quick. I'll go to that one. Give me a sec. Let's check that one out. So here's the other angle from KSAT Live. Thank you, Iona, for sending me that. Same feed on all channels, same feed. I mean, this one's not as, I can tell this one's not as bumpy. The other guy was kind of all over the place. The other guy looked like he was on an airplane with, some turbulence going on. My aunt's ex-husband's son was shot in the head through the car window in September. They still haven't found who did it. They think it was drug related as well. Very sad. Leon Valley. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Alaskan Dragonfly. There was There was this one lady out here as well who she was from I'll say Del Rio, and I think she was on I-10. Somebody pulled up and shot through the windshield, took her life, and took off just randomly while they were driving on the highway. And I don't think there's been anybody found in that case too. It's crazy stuff. It's live on San Antonio Police Department. Cool. Let me check this out over here real quick. I have that running here. All right. And it's the same thing though. It's the same view. But now that it's on Facebook, that means that, this guy should be walking out here pretty soon. So that's good to know. Oh, sorry to hear that, Jasmine. That's my condolences to you. Yeah, less speed bumps here. Yeah. And we say that as this guy starts shaking. We just had a guy here in Yukon, Oklahoma, take the life of his ex when she went to pick up her things from 7-Eleven, and he took himself. Yeah, I can imagine, Jasmine. I think they may have been kidnapped or lured out in the early morning to those apartments. I don't know, just guessing. But here's the thing. Here's what we know, because Matthew's brother was talking, right? And he said that when they went to the house the following day at 11 o'clock in the morning, I want to say it was around that time, that the candle was still on and the door was unlocked. All of their stuff was still there: money, guns, drugs. Like, it wasn't as if they left on their own. Oh, here comes the big guy. Here's the big dude. Yeah, he's definitely the dad. He's an older guy. He's a shorter guy. Well, man, what happened there? Oh, there it goes. You only know one side. You don't know what's going on, is what he said. Oh, y'all can't. I am so sorry. I thought I had this on. I had it on mute this whole time. I apologize. He said, y'all don't know the whole story. And that was basically it. Daniel's whole persona changes depending on his glass. Maybe. I don't know why this keeps pausing in and out. Yeah, he kept saying something to the effect, "Oh, here comes the guy that popped out of the car. Long-haired dude."
Are you sorry for what happened? Anything to say to your family? How does it make you feel, an unborn baby? What do you want to say to your family, to Xana, to Matthew's family?
You sorry? You sorry?
Nothing to say. An unborn child.
It was an entire family.
You sorry?
Looks like the guy that was at the scene in the parking lot. I'm going to go back and look at those things and see if any of these guys were there. No names, no nothing yet. They're going to have a little press conference. We'll see what's going on. But yeah, the father had said a couple of things. He said, you don't know the whole story. You only know one side of the story, is what he said. Twice, I believe. So nice hair, though. May have value somewhere. Yeah. Some people saying he looks kind of female, and I think that they're saying that. Somebody's in the comment section. And he looks like a female, and long hair wouldn't go well. He's the big guy. The big guy is that dude's father.
Washington Moscoso, WASHINGTON MOSCOSO. So the individuals you saw this evening, the first individual's name is Ramon Preciado, 53 years old, SID number 443651. The second individual was Christopher Preciado, 19 years old, SID number 1191061. So the two individuals we just walked out today, again, is a father and son. The first individual is a father. The second individual is a son. They're going to be charged. The son's going to be charged this evening with capital murder, and the father's going to be charged with abuse of a corpse. So I'm not going to go into the whole thing. We all know what kind of led us to this to where we are today. I will say that when we recover, or when the bodies were discovered on Danny K, obviously the investigators made that location and started collecting evidence. One of the key pieces of evidence that we did collect at the scene, cell phone, and so our technology team who was in there with enough information, and so that information was given to our. I will say today that when we recover, or when the bodies were discovered on Danny K, obviously the investigation began. SAPD detectives made that location and started collecting evidence. One of the key pieces of evidence that we did collect at the scene was Savannah's cell phone, and so that was handed over to our technical start interviewing both the son and the father. Again, they were both at the home. They were both brought down here, and the interrogations began. Through interrogating the individuals, our detectives had enough, based on what they said, there was enough information there to get a warrant signed by a judge tonight, again, to charge Christopher with capital murder and Ramon with abuse of a corpse. Again, there will be more charges pending. This is what we have right now. I'll answer any questions.
Did you the capital murder for the son and then abuse of the corpse charge for the dad? Does that mean that you guys believe the son killed them and then the dad helped hide the body?
Yes. And so I want to touch base on something real quick. Since the release of the video that we put out on the 28th, internet has blown up with people sending tips and people just sending misinformation. There's a lot of misinformation out there. These two individuals are the only suspects that we were looking for. They were arrested. There were many names being thrown around on the internet. Those people had nothing to do with this. We vetted them and everything. They didn't have anything to do with these murderers. So the individual, again, Christopher, we believe committed the murders of Matthew and Savannah, and then Ramon helped kind of dump the body. It appears to be a narcotic-related deal that went bad.
Do we know the connection between this father and son and Matthew and Savannah, or the connection to the apartment complex?
So there's no apparent connection to the apartment complex. It's just a place where they want to go dispose or hide the vehicle with the bodies in it. And it appears that it was a drug deal, so there was like a drug connection to the suspect and the two victims.
When you say abuse of a corpse, can you talk about that a little bit? Was there any mutilation, or is that?
It's just when you hiding the body, moving the body after discovering that and all that kind of stuff. Yep.
When he killed him, what exactly?
So the December 21st, which is a Thursday, just before midnight, is when the actual murders took place. On that. Mm-hmm.
Are they going to be charged for the baby? Because in the state of Texas, technically they could be charged for.
Right. So the like I said, there's going to be possible charges pending, more charges pending. Our detectives are going to talk with the Bexar County DA to determine if there are going to be any charges they're going to be facing any charges related to the unborn baby.
And do we know if she was dilated at all?
I didn't have that information from the medical examiners. I know that she was scheduled to be induced. And she didn't make her appointment, which is why the family went to the police to file the missing persons report.
Did he say where exactly they killed him?
I don't have exactly location. We just know that they were killed at a different location and then taken to the apartment complex to dispose of the vehicle and the body. I know there was some Spanish questions I wanted to knock out real quick.
Sí, podría darnos un resumen pequeño para la audiencia hispana de estas personas que presentó.
No, 11 preguntas.
Nada, unas preguntas. Si tienes preguntas a particular.
¿A quiénes presentaron esta noche?
Sí, esta noche el primer señor que salió es Ramón Preciado, de 53 años, y el segundo es Christopher Preciado, de 19 años. Christopher Preciado es el que...
What he's doing is just kind of going over what he said in Spanish and English. He's talking about the first guy that was on scene, or the first person that came by was the father, Ramon Preciado, and the son, Christopher Preciado. 53 for the father, 19 on the son, and it's been confirmed this was a drug deal gone bad. Happened at a different location, and they were taken to the crime scene where they ended up being found. Somebody asked about the third person. Yeah, I know, right? Somebody needs to ask about the third person. Let me see if there's something in English.
Well, I mean, someone was buying and someone was selling, so it was a drug.
Can Ramon be charged with these murders through the accomplice theory or the multiple parties theory?
I'm sorry, could who?
Ramon, the dad. Could he be charged with the murders as well through the accomplice theory?
No, he was not. He was not there during the commission of the murders. He was there kind of, I guess he was called afterwards to help dispose or help his son. I'm sorry?
These two have previous records?
Christopher has no previous criminal history, and Ramon did have a small, he had some prior criminal history.
So are you all done looking for suspects at this
Yeah,
point?
we don't have any other suspects that we're looking for.
And then that surveillance video, were they alive during that surveillance
No.
video? They were not alive.
They were not alive, no.
Last question, guys. Christopher killed them, then moved the bodies to the car?
Correct. Well, I mean, I don't know if you moved them into the vehicle, the vehicle with the bodies in was driven to that apartment complex. It didn't happen at that apartment complex.
So ultimately, who's going to make the decision on the final charges? Is that going to be the DA's office?
Correct. Yes. So our detective again tonight are charging them with Christopher with capital murder and Ramon with abuse of a corpse. They are working on some other charges that they're going to file. But regarding, I think specifically the question that you had about the unborn baby, they're going to have a conversation with the DA to determine whether they can charge or put the baby as another victim on this.
So does SAPD have any say whenever they talk to the DA's office?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a collaboration with our DA's
Would you
office.
say SAPD is going to seek that they're charged for the unborn baby case?
Our detectives are going to do everything they can to bring justice to the family.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you all for coming out tonight.
It sounded like he said that they were deceased that night, the Thursday night. So I think that is accurate. I want to see if they'll do it, show it again. I'm going to contact some people. I know. I may know Preciado or two. Christopher Preciado.
I will say that when we recover, or when
Here it is.
the bodies were discovered on Danny K, obviously the investigation began. SAPD.
I'm gonna rewind it a little bit and kind of want to hear. Oh, I guess the candle burned for 2 days. Yeah, that's kind of weird, right? That is weird. I don't get that either. I don't know. Maybe somebody went in there. I don't know, man. It's weird. That is weird. All right, so I know we didn't hear this part. I'm going to replay this.
Why did he do it? Are you sorry for what happened? Did you know Savanah was 9?
Make a hole, guys.
No, man, this is from a much further back. You can't hear what he said. So he's saying something, but I can't hear what he's saying.
Are you on video? Did you pull them or did you just hide the evidence?
So Christina says the door was locked and the dad kicked in the door. They said. So what happened was his what was it? It was no. Her mom went over and it was unlocked, and they saw the weed, the drugs, and stuff. And then her mom locked the door behind her, and then his dad showed up after that and kicked the door down, from my understanding. And I'm not sure what day it was. That's why I want to replay this to make sure to figure out what day he said it was.
Está saliendo el segundo.
Oh, let this for the camera.
Yeah, I want. Does this sound weird to you guys? It sounds real weird to me.
Oh, let this for the camera.
All right, give me 1 second, guys. I got to do something. Hang on. Let me know if you guys can. Let me know if you guys can hear me. All right. And then. Sorry about that. Shit. I forgot to share the audio. I'm about to watch this again and then not share the audio. That's horrible. Give me a sec. It's past my bedtime.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sergeant Washington Moscoso, WASHINGTON MOSCOSO. So the individuals you saw this evening, the first individual's name is Ramon Preciado, 53 years old, SID number 443651. The second individual was Christopher Preciado, 19 years old, SID number 1191061. So the two individuals we just walked out today, again, is a father and son. The first individual is a father. The second individual is a son. They're going to be charged. The son's going to be charged this evening with capital murder, and the father's going to be charged with abuse of a corpse. So we do expect more charges to be pending. So I'm not going to go into the whole thing. We all know what kind of led us to this to where we are today. I will say that when we recover, or when the bodies were discovered on Danny K, obviously the investigation began. SAPD detectives made that location and started collecting evidence. One of the key pieces of evidence that we did collect at the scene was Savanah's cell phone, and so that was handed over to our technology team, who was able to download some information on there. With the assistance of the U.S. Secret Service, we were able to get enough information, and so that information was given to our detectives today. With that information, the detectives were able to find a possible location of where the suspect vehicle that was released on that surveillance camera, the surveillance video, possible location where that suspect vehicle might be. They made that location, and sure enough, the vehicle was there.
As far as what about the third person handing him the towel? I don't know. I'm assuming that maybe they made some sort of deal that they'll tell them whatever they want to hear. If nothing happens to that person, and I'm assuming that's probably his wife, the 19-year-old's mom. So, but I don't know. I think they should be charged as well. She was involved, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure why there wasn't that charge. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me know about
They
the
did a little bit of surveillance on the video, or on the vehicle, and then were able to determine which house it belonged to. They went up, knocked on the door. The first gentleman, the first individual, the father answered the door. He knew why the police were there. Was cooperated fully with the investigation.
I'm gonna back that up a little bit. I want to rehear that.
The vehicle might be. They made that location, and sure enough, were able to find a possible location of where the suspect vehicle that was released on that surveillance camera, the surveillance video, possible location where that suspect vehicle might be. They made that location, and sure enough, the vehicle was there. They did a little bit of surveillance on the video, or on the vehicle, and then were able to determine which house it belonged to. They went up, knocked on the door. The first gentleman, the first individual, the father answered the door. He knew why the police were there. Was cooperated fully with the investigation. We're right here to headquarters, and our detectives were able to start interviewing both the son and the father. Again, they were both at the home. They were both brought down here, and the interrogations began. Through interrogating the individuals, our detectives had enough, based on what they said, there was enough information there to get a warrant signed by a judge tonight, again, to charge Christopher with capital murder and Ramon with abuse of a corpse. Again, there will be more charges pending. This is what we have right now. I'll answer any questions you might have.
Due to the capital murder for the son and then abuse of the corpse charge for the dad, does that mean that you guys believe the son killed them and then the dad helped hide the bodies?
Yes.
And just so everybody knows, abuse of a corpse here in Texas is a Class A misdemeanor. I think it's a maximal punishment of a year in prison, and I think it's like $4,000 fine, 2 to 4. I think it's 2 to 4, and I think it's like 90 days or something like that to 100 to 365 days a year. So, not the most highest of charges for somebody. And this guy doesn't have any criminal record, things like that. Class A misdemeanor at the end of the day. He's probably going to get probation or something like that. Just FYI.
Yes. And so I want to touch base on something real quick. Since the release of the video that we put out on the 28th, internet has blown up with people sending tips and people just sending misinformation. There's a lot of misinformation out there. These two individuals are are the only suspects that we were looking for. They were arrested. There were many names being thrown around on the internet. Those people had nothing to do with this. We vetted them and everything. They didn't have anything to do with these murderers. So the individual, again, Christopher, we believe committed the murders of Matthew and Savanah, and then Ramon helped kind of dump the body. It appears to be a narcotic related deal that went bad.
Yeah. To answer Mountain Mama's question about being a DP state, the answer is yes.
I know the connection between this father and son and Matthew and Savanah, or the connection to the apartment complex.
So there's no apparent connection to the apartment complex. It's just a place where they went to go dispose or hide the vehicle with the bodies in it, and it appears that it was a drug deal. So there was like a drug connection to the suspect and the two victims.
When you say abuse of the corpse, can you talk about that a little bit? Was there any mutilation, or is that?
It's just when you hiding the body, moving the body after discovering that and all that kind of stuff. Yep.
When he killed them, what exactly?
So the December 21st, which is a Thursday, just before midnight, is when the actual murders took place. On that. Mm-hmm.
Are they going to be charged for the baby? Because in the state of Texas, technically, they could be charged for.
Right. So like I said, there's going to be possible charges pending, more charges pending. Our detectives are going to talk with the Bexar County DA to determine if they're going to be any charges facing any charges related to the unborn baby.
So yeah, they were gone the 21st. That's when they were last seen, right? Just before midnight. The 22nd is when they were supposed to be induced. So the night that they had apparently an argument, and they get up and leave. I know that somebody said that there was like a candle on and stuff like this and that, but I don't know if, like, for instance, to me, I think that where it comes to like a certain side of things, like with Matthew's family, they've been coming up with a lot of stuff. One of them was that somebody was tied up and tortured. Another one was that another cousin of his said something about, somebody being in the trunk. Another person said that they were shot behind the right ear. I mean, these were all related to him. And a lot of it was either not true or contradictory to what really happened or overly exaggerated. And what I think happened is, I think maybe perhaps one family member or a group of family members may have gotten some information. And then as they spread that information to other family members, the story kept changing a little bit, the phone game. And I think that's why there's so many different stories coming out, or so many different things that aren't consistent with what happened, coming from, the family. And it's understandable, they're going through a hard time. They're probably trying to, cling on to anything to figure out what happened, try to make sense of it, the whole 9 yards. They're emotional. It's kind of like in the other case that we cover, the Bryan Kohberger case. We have been in communication with Kaylee Goncalves, one of the victims' mothers, and her family have been scrutinized for some of the things that they have said, and without understanding that they lost a daughter and their daughter's best friend, who they thought of as a daughter. And when somebody's speaking out of emotion, that information isn't always 100% accurate. And it's not because of fault of the person giving that information out. It's just due to the stress and the duress of the situation. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, the old telephone game. So that's kind of where I think that everything is at on this situation.
Do we know if she was dilated at all?
I didn't have that information from the medical examiners. I know that she was scheduled to be induced, and she didn't make her appointment, which is why the family went to the police to file the missing persons report.
Did he say where exactly they killed him?
I don't have exactly location. We just know that they were killed at a different location and then taken to the apartment complex to dispose of the vehicle and the body. I know there was some Spanish questions I wanted to knock out real quick.
Sí, podría darnos un resumen pequeño para la audiencia hispana de estas personas que presentó. No, 11 preguntas.
nada, una pregunta. Si tienes preguntas a particular.
¿A quiénes presentaron esta noche?
Sí, esta noche el primer señor que salió es Ramón Preciado, de 53 años, y el segundo es Christopher Preciado, de 19 años. Christopher Preciado es el que hizo los asesinatos de las víctimas, y su papá Ramón ayudó en esconder o tratar de esconder el carro y las víctimas.
So all he said there was that, just kind of reemphasize what he said was basically the same stuff he was saying in the beginning, that, you know, arrested was Ramon and Christopher, 53 and 19. He said that Christopher's being charged with capital murder because he's the one that committed the actual murders. And his father, Ramon, is being charged with the abuse of corpse because what he did was hide the bodies and tried to, yeah, that's what he said, hide the bodies. I'm really surprised they're both talking to police. I'm also surprised police are talking to us. They never release this much information. Yeah, in Texas, they'll tell people a lot, maybe sometimes a little bit too much.
Las dos personas eran las que aparecían en el video de vigilancia
Sí.
que presentaron la semana pasada.
Sí. Ajá.
Había un motivo para...
He just confirmed there that those are the two individuals that were seen in the surveillance camera. So, you know, the person getting out of the car is Christopher, and the person in the truck is Ramon.
para matarlos. ¿Alguna
Parece que había una transacción de drogas que no fue, que fue mal, la transacción de drogas fue mal y resultó en la muerte de las dos víctimas.
When you say drug deals, you mean were they buying or selling? Do you know what?
Well, I mean, someone was buying and someone was selling, so it was a drug.
Can Ramon be charged with these murders through the accomplice theory or the multiple parties theory?
I'm sorry, could who?
Ramon, the dad, could he be charged with the murders as well through an accomplice theory?
No, he was not. He was not there during the commission of the murders. He was there kind of, I guess he was called afterwards to help dispose or help his son.
You know, the charge that I'm surprised that they didn't give him was, and he said that more charges could be coming. It should be, what was it? Tampering with evidence. That's a felony. You know, you can get not some hard time for that. I think it's a state jail felony. So it's probably like 2 years to like 4 or something like that. So, and I think it comes with a $10,000 fine. And I think that the way they make you pay that fine, if you can't pay it, is they add time to your sentence. I could be wrong. I don't know. I've never done time before, so I really don't know. And I never worked in a prison or anything like that either. Could the father have actually helped place the bodies back in the car? No, he talks about that. It doesn't sound like it. And based on the bodies being in the car, it doesn't sound like, to me, it sounds like their lives were taken in the car, and they never left the car. Because, for instance, I think that if somebody passes, right, they take their lives outside of the car. Why are they going to place one in the front seat, one in the back seat? You know, it doesn't make sense. You put one in the trunk. Now, I think what we're going to find is that Matthew was pulled from the driver's seat into the back seat. I know that there was the story or the rumors that his pants were off or down, but I think what happened was he probably wears saggy pants, bigger pants. And also when you're pulling somebody from the front seat to the back seat, it might also pull them down a little bit, especially if they're a looser kind of pant. And the reason why you would do that, you know, pull them from the front seat to the back seat, is so that you obviously, nobody sees you carrying somebody out of the car and out of the driver's seat. And again, if you're going to carry somebody out of the driver's seat, why are you going to put them in the back seat? You open up the trunk and throw them in there. It'll be a lot easier. So my suspicion is we're going to find out that this crime occurred in the car. I would say that the suspect was probably in the back seat when it happened. Like he said it was a drug deal gone bad. And then, yeah, I don't think that they left the car, so to speak. The capital in murder in Texas, yeah, that's means that you can be punishable with the death penalty. Can you imagine seeing yourself on the news, the footage they released earlier with the towel and just hanging out at home waiting for the knock on the door from police? Yeah, I'm sure that's stressful. Let's continue this.
I'm sorry? Christopher has no previous criminal history, and Ramon did have a small, he had some prior criminal history.
So are you all done looking for suspects at this
Yeah,
point?
we don't have any other suspects that we're looking for.
And then that surveillance video, were they alive during that surveillance
No.
video? They were not alive.
They were not alive, no.
Last question, guys. Christopher killed them and then moved the bodies to the car?
Correct. Well, I mean, I don't know if you moved them into the vehicle, that the vehicle with the bodies in was driven to that apartment complex. It didn't happen at that apartment complex.
So right there, yeah, that tells me that they weren't moved into the vehicles. They were in the vehicles and in the vehicle, and then that vehicle moved.
Ultimately, who's going to make the decision on the final charges? Is that going to be the DA's office?
Correct, yes. So our detective, again, tonight are charging them with Christopher with capital murder and Ramon with abuse of a corpse. They are working on some other charges that they're going to file. But regarding, I think specifically the question that you had about the unborn baby, they're going to have a conversation with the DA to determine whether they can charge or put the baby as another victim on this.
So does SAP have any say whenever they talk to the DA's office?
Absolutely, yeah. It's a collaboration with our DA's
Would you
office.
say SAPD is going to seek that they're charged for the unborn baby?
Our detectives are going to do everything they can to bring justice to the family.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you all for coming out tonight.
Very sad. Very sad. There's an arrest. Let me see this real quick. Ramon and Christopher Preciado connected to Savanah Soto and Matthew Guerra. This dude looks familiar, man. I think I've seen this kid somewhere. Well, by this time tomorrow, everybody will know everything about these people, where they live, their address, their Facebook, their Instagram, their social media. And we'll have a lot clearer picture of who these people are and what happened. Like I said, Ramon was saying something to the effect like, it's one side, you don't know everything. I assume that the son is going to claim that this is some sort of it was some sort of a self-defense type of thing. I don't know. Looks older than 19. Maybe. They charge abuse of corpse since he aided him with the son pulled up and the father knew he should have called the police at the time. Maybe have saved him from prison. Yeah, but the prison that he's going to go to, he may not even go to prison. If all they charge him with is abuse of corpse, that's a Class A misdemeanor. He doesn't have much of a history. He might get maybe a year, might get a $2,000 fine. That might be the most. I thought it was a woman with those lustrous locks. Yeah. To put a car seat on Savanah, this is just too upsetting. My daughter's 19, just had a baby boy. I would die if something like that happens, period. Well, yeah. Correct. Abuse of the corpse just means the moving the body doesn't mean they actually abuse the corpse. And, that might be where some of the misinformation came from, right? They may have told somebody, one of the family members, like, there's two people involved. We know that one of them committed the crime, so we're going to charge them. When we find them with this, which is, capital murder, and then the other person that's assisting, we're gonna get them too with, abuse of a corpse, and then, that saying goes, from one place to another, and the next thing you know, people are saying that, he was tortured. I can see how those two connect. They got his hair in the car for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I bet they do. There's going to be a lot on there. There ain't nothing he can do to say that it wasn't him. I wouldn't be surprised if this guy talked as well. Kind of said what he said. Like I said, the dad is already telling, the media, there's another side, there's this, there's that. That tells me he was singing in there. So he was talking all the time. So these guys are done. They talked. They gave it up. They confessed. I can almost guarantee it. His DNA is going to be everywhere. Yeah, well, they got all of it. I mean, there's nothing they can do. They're probably backed in a corner. They probably did was sit down. They were probably put in a corner of a room, separated with a big binder that said evidence on the top of it. You put it down, you sit there in front of them and you tell them, we got all this on you. You can make it easier on yourself, or, we know what you did, but we don't know is why you did it. And that's what we were here to find out. There's nothing that you can do. You're going to, you're going to go to jail. You can make it easier on yourself. This is your opportunity to make your claim, so that way we can take it into consideration, and all this other crap. That's what police were going to do to trick them into singing. And just knowing that guy, or just seeing that guy was talking to the media the way he was, yeah, he talked to the detectives. He told them everything they need to know. 100%. What time is it in Texas? 11:55. 100%. And I'll probably be jumping off here pretty soon. Think they might plead guilty? I think they will. I think they'll take a plea of some sort. Let's see. The son didn't have a single prior. Seems odd. Wonder if during the deal Matthew tried to rob or punk him. I mean, maybe. I mean, it's quite possible. From all appearances, it just seems like it went bad. Drug deal went bad. So, but it's just a sad situation, and especially for like the families. I feel so bad for Savanah's, mom and grandma, who came out and talked about, the devastation that their families had over the past year, not just with Savanah and Fabian, but also, their brother earlier this year or earlier last year. A lot of tragedy. He was arrested as Ramon and Christopher Preciado, father and son. Well, guys, that's going to be it for me. This is my second live of the night. I appreciate everybody that was jumping on. If you guys can hit that like button, also hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so. I'd appreciate it. We'll be back probably tomorrow. We'll find out some more information about this situation and go forward from there. I actually know some folks that, I don't know, they have the same last name. I'll see if they know anything. But until then, we'll see you next time.